Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of IARF 5-Minute Focus, discussions with leaders in disability services. I am IARF President and CEO Josh Evans, and today we are joined by Envision Unlimited CEO Mark McHugh, based out of Chicago. Mark, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure, Josh.
So Mark, as you know, these videos are really about a few things. One is making sure that the general public and anybody that checks it out knows more about not just disability services writ large, but specifically about what organizations like Envision Unlimited does, but also to be able to communicate to members of the General Assembly, a little more succinctly to try to give them a greater understanding of the importance of disability service providers. Could you spend a couple minutes talking to us about, what is it that Envision Unlimited does?
Sure. Well, we serve people with disabilities, and everything we do is around helping people with disabilities achieve maximum choice in their lives, independence, and to be included in the larger community. We provide our services in the Chicago metropolitan area and central Illinois, and serve people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, people with mental illness, and people with physical disabilities. Our services include supporting people to live in the community and not in an institutional setting, to access cultural and recreational activities, to help get a job as they're able to and want to. We provide support through clinical and therapeutic services, respite for parents who need a little bit of a break, even foster care for kids with disabilities and their siblings. And our newest service is support and therapeutic services to kids with autism and their families.
Excellent. So, Mark, I appreciate you sharing with us all of the different things that Envision is doing for children and adults. And, one of the things that, I still run into when I mention what it is that, we do here, but what you do boots on the ground is to try to make that translation about, why organizations like Envision Unlimited are absolutely crucial to healthy communities in the broader social safety net and healthcare setting. Could you kind of pivot in terms of, you just described what Envision Unlimited does, but can you talk about, why what you guys do is so important to healthy communities in Chicago in particular?
Sure. Well, part of having a healthy community is having diversity in that community, and helping everyone who lives in a community be somehow connected to one another. So, part of our job is to help people with disabilities live the life they want, where they want it, and to ensure that, like everyone else, they can enjoy the rights and responsibilities of citizenship. We help our members see what's available to them so they can make choices for themselves and decide where they want to be and how they want to live in a community. And then help members and others in a community get to know one another as individuals and not as a label. Help them develop relationships with one another so that they can see, what each other is really about. And the friendships that are created are just, they're wonderful to see.
Mark, thank you for explaining in that way, because it sort of beckons back to, what it all means about, why we're here in terms of us being social animals as human beings, but the need to stay connected for individuals from all walks of life to have what they need and opportunities to achieve the American dream. So thank you for that description, and especially for everything that you guys are doing and your team at Envision. And as you know, we are in May, and we're working with our General Assembly now, who will need to pass a state fiscal year 22 budget by the end of May. And as organizations that work in arrangements with the state of Illinois, the Department of Human Services, and others to provide the types of services that you described, could you talk a little bit about what you think the General Assembly needs to do to help you advance your vision and mission?
Absolutely. The General Assembly really needs to make sure that people who need the financial support of the state, that is, people with disabilities, have the adequate support to be able to exercise that choice, independence, and inclusion that they deserve. And a good example of that is the funding of the Guidehouse study for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. It is absolutely crucial after so many years of not paying attention to this population. In fact, pushing this population off to the side from a public policy standpoint, that the legislature take it seriously. It's still going to take 5 years, even if they fully fund the recommendations in that third-party study. So let's get at it this year and fund year one. After you fund year one, years 2, 3, 4, and 5 get a lot easier. And let's not kick the can down the road again.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you for talking about the study. It's really about establishing equitable and sustainable funding for the Developmental Disability Services Array, something that we've not had in Illinois a long time, something that we're mandated to do by the federal courts, and something we have a legal, moral, and ethical obligation to do. So as we close out here, I just want to say, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for all the incredible work that your team does at Envision Unlimited, and thank you for your leadership in particular and for your service to the board of directors here and the broader association. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. Take care.